Natasha Root, fansutopia.com. Instagram at fansutopia1 and Twitter at fansutopia1.
Tell me a little bit about yourself and your company.
Well, my company is a full-service company that sells used items from famous porn stars and models across the world. So you could get your favorite bra panties from your favorite porn scene to a little bit of fluids, body fluids from Kenzie Ann, or some hair clippings from one of your favorite stars.
How did you get involved in this?
This actually came to me in a dream in 2021. I was debating what I wanted to do next with my career, and one of my friends who used to be in the porn industry was handing me her breast implants and said, you need to put this on your website. Woke up in the middle of the night, saw that you couldn't really sell any of that, saw there was different things, but there was no such thing as a full service company that made it easier for the stars to focus on building their career but still being able to connect with their fans.
And had you watched adult material before? Were you familiar with the industry?
I'm familiar with the industry for sure. I grew up in the San Fernando Valley, so my friends' parents were all in the video distribution.
Do you remember the first girl you worked with?
First girl I worked with was Tasha Owner.
What was that experience like for you?
It was really funny because my company was so new and she loved the idea, but I loved that she was giving me a chance because I was fresh on the scene, no idea. But what was great is that she had the need to sell her used items because it was hard for her to keep up with the requests and all the fans. So I remember the first time I met her in a parking lot taking photos of her toes and her in the clothes as my first post to be able to put her things online.
Prior to meeting her, had you had any preconceived notions about girls in the industry?
I had friends in the entertainment industry. I had two very close friends that were porn stars, so I knew of the industry. I thought it was cool what they were doing, and I love that it lets women be in control of themselves compared to mainstream.
You meet her, Tasha.
Yes.
How do you get the idea, like, we could do this company and this could be really cool?
I already had the company idea and everything going, so when I met her it was just to grab the items, and then from there I continued building and getting different type of girls that are just on OnlyFans and some that do also porn, and then I got Playmates, and I started to just grow with that because everyone can have a certain fetish regardless of what that woman does.
And how do you pick your first couple items? Because, like, you know, bra and panties will sell or so forth.
Mostly I always ask the talent first because some of them, you know, specialize in certain sexual acts or they get just a lot of requests. And I always say, what did the fans request the most? So a lot of them, of course, will say panties, bra panty sets, pantyhose. And then from there, I always tell them, whatever you want to sell, you can. Because the goal is to be able to connect deeper with your fans.
Is it easier for you as a woman to speak to other women when it comes to selling this stuff?
Absolutely. I definitely think so, because with women we're very good with reading each other, and there's always that sense of trust, which really helps as well, and we're all supporting one another, so it makes it fun.
Was there any item, something you might slightly squeamish about selling?
I sold a vial of Kenzie Ann's cum once. That was pretty fun because it exploded all over the envelope and it was quite squeamish. But other than that, I'm so used to everything. You know, it's my job. So at the end of the day, the more squeamish and the more challenging that it can be, the more fun it is for me.
Do you do custom work and all that?
Custom work as in requests of what people want? Yes. So we get emails every day of people wanting specific items, whether if the star is not on the website yet, or they want specific items from Siri Doll or Kenna James. And then what I do is I act as the middleman, so I will go take those people's requests, and nothing is off limits. They can request whatever they want, and then from there I'll go ask the talent, and if the talent wants to do it, then we send it to the fan.
Craziest request you got for a customer? Crazy for you.
Craziest request is actually just because being a woman, it's interesting, is that somebody wanted one of the stars to wear the same panties for 6 days and have them really sweaty in the gym, and I just thought of myself that would just be horrifying to me, more than used dildos or anything else. Just wearing the panties so long like made me very squeamish.
And do you physically take the photos and the videos?
Absolutely. I really take pride in having quality control of all the products, because seeing from other things in the past of how other businesses do it, I want people who are paying, and making hardworking dollars, that they get what they pay for. So it's really important to me to make sure that, the panties are used, all the items are used, they are what they are. So we do take photos so the buyer knows exactly what they're getting.
For branding purposes, do your clientele come more for personality or for what's going to go to bone, basically?
I would say when it comes to the client, as in the buyer per se, the buyer already knows the star. So they're already following that person, all their social medias, OnlyFans, their videos. So from there, when they're requesting those items or interested, they just know to come straight to my website to be able to find those items.
How many clients do you have now?
I have almost close to 30 with some other ones that are coming on soon. So,
can you give me some names?
Of ones I can have right now, yes I can. We have Kenna James, Kenzie Ann, Kenzie Taylor, Siri Dahl, Savannah Bonds, Kaylee Gunner, and God, so many more.
For you, do you approach Kenzie Ann versus Kenna James differently when it comes to marketing and?
No, what's really great is that I've built friendships with a lot of them, and at the same time, everyone is, we're all trying to make money, we're all talent, and there is no certain way to approach one than another. What's really great is all these girls have been so great about believing me in the company that they're willing to take whatever risks with me, which makes it so fun to be like, let's just put this on and see how it does. So everyone's treated the same, because at the end of the day, everyone just wants to please their fans and grow their fan base.
There's going to be 500 girls, let's say, for sake of discussion here. If you're looking for a new client, what would you look for from that person?
Well, for instance, this is my first AVN, and a very important thing to me when I go to adult shows and conventions is that's where I get my talent. I want to meet with them face to face. I want them to understand me as the company, because I think it's really important to build those relationships. So when I'm going here, what I'm looking for is definitely you got to have a fan base. If you don't have a fan base, people are not going to know where to buy your items, and they're probably not going to want to buy your items on the scale that they should. So I definitely look for that. I mean, of course I have a dream of Angela White, but we'll get there one day. But the key is just having someone who has a great personality, because you want someone who respects their fans and treats them well, because those are the type of people they're going to keep coming back to want to buy items.
And is there a particular type of girl that maybe sells better than another? That sounds bad.
The reason why some people sell better than the other, because the secret to success on my website is that you have to promote your item, because people know of my company, but they know more of that particular star. So that star needs to hustle and say, hey, if you want to buy my items, this is where you get it, because that's how they find out about my website, and also how they find out about newer talent that, is on the small scale on my website.
For sake of discussion, I'm one of your clients. Do I bring in items and say I'd like to sell painting, or do you have like a list and you just say this is what we sell?
I let the talent sell whatever they want. So we do local pickups around the LA area, or if you're not in LA, what I do is I send you a prepaid label and they send me their items. Or if they're from other countries, they'll send their items directly. But I like them to feel in control. But of course, they ask, do you have ideas? And I kind of tell them, hey, maybe you should include some socks or some autographed Polaroids. But definitely, it also goes off, they know their fans better than I do.
You touched on it earlier, but when a fan buys a custom work or a custom video, do they prefer like raw video, or they want it to be perfectly lit?
That's a good question. I haven't had anyone be very particular about wanting a really high definition, certain type of video. Most of the ones are done on iPhones, and either I send it directly to the client or they send it through their OnlyFans directly to them. So they are, of course, you're able to see all the details, but it's not a whole professional shoot.
For you as a person, what's the reality of this business versus the fantasy?
Ooh, as in what the fans fantasy with it, or?
I'm sure when you told your friends, like, I'm going to be doing this thing, they're like, oh, there must be all crazy and they're naked.
You know what? When I first did this, because I've always just been pretty wild, and obviously having friends in the industry, everyone thought I was a little crazy at first, because they said, how could you sell some used items? Who's going to want to buy that? But I just honestly, when you have a really great idea and you feel in your core this is what you're supposed to do and it literally comes to you in a dream, you ignore what everyone says and you just go for it. And so that's what I did with it. I mean, of course, some people, when I tell them, they do get squeamish, but I almost am so entertained when I tell people that I do. And if it does make them uncomfortable, who cares? At least I'm bringing awareness to the adult industry, and maybe I'll help their sex life at home.
And do you think, not to age myself, but do you think your generation is more accepting of this material than mine was?
You know, I feel that your generation for sure, obviously, is very accepting. I feel that ours is too, but I feel with regardless any generation, you're always going to have the prudes and the people that never understood it because they never educated themselves.
From being in the sex business, has your perception of sex changed?
Noah, no. Actually, when I see a lot of the videos, for instance, on Twitter, when I see you can, post all the clips and stuff like that. First off, I feel like I'm learning tips, but also too, I find it's not so taboo anymore. It's another day at the office for me, but also too, I encourage sex, and I don't feel, if anything, I'm more comfortable with sex and the adult industry now because I live and breathe it every day.
If you're dating, I don't know if you're single or not, but do your friends or people maybe get weird because you say you work with adult people?
I do have a fiance, and when I first started this, he was on board and he thought I was a little crazy, but he knew that this is something that I wanted to do, and he's been totally supportive. And my friends that know, they think it's a really genius idea, and they're really supportive of it too now.
2023 just started. Do you have any goals for the company?
Absolutely. The goals is to there's so many requests every day that my buyers have for different talents. So the goal, for instance, this week is to just grow the talent as much as we can on all different scales. I mean, I want to definitely reach out more to the trans industry, to the gay industry. I want to get more women. I want to get more ethnicities of women and men, and I want to grow on all bases of that. I really feel with the adult industry, there's just so many options and ways that you can take this and grow it. And I feel like the sky, is the highest of what this could be.
Two-part question. First part, from a company perspective, what does being successful mean to you?
Being successful to me is my goal is to be basically the Amazon or the direct source for anyone that wants used memorabilia or items from famous adult stars and models. So my dream is to be that. How you go on Amazon and you search for hairspray and they're going to be there. I want to be that. I want people to know that if they have certain fetish items, you can feel safe and go to my website and know that you're going to get what you pay for.
From one of your people you represent, what would you consider them being successful? They've sold X amount of items? Successful
overall with their business, or just successful on the website?
No, successful meaning you guys have done your thing and the girl's making money and everybody, it's a happy relationship.
Yes, okay. So for instance, a couple really big sellers on my website are Siri Doll and Kaylee Gunner. And what I love about their success is not just watching them sell a bunch of items on my website, but watching their career grow. And I think it's so neat that since I ship all over the world, I'm literally shipping all over the world for these girls because they have such a wide base. And it's just so exciting and rewarding to see that because we're both growing. I'm growing as a company and they're growing their fan base. And I feel like that's the most awesome, rewarding part about this.
Do you have a job or a career?
I consider this a career. It's something that the only thing that I want to do. And I've owned other businesses and I've never been so excited to wake up every day and not have annoying customers who are driving me crazy. I'm so lucky that I have buyers that are so thankful for me, the service I provide, the talent being happy, my clients. I wouldn't change it for the world. I feel I'm exactly where I need to be.
Can you give me your website, your social media?
Yes, so my website is fansutopia.com, Twitter is fansutopia1, Instagram is fansutopia1, and of course that's the number 1.